Let's hear it. Oh, unbelievable. Just bonkers, guys. Fifth, fourth, third. Oh, too good. That's fourth. That's third. Oh, that's just too much fun, guys. Here we go. Alright guys, let's take a quick walk around of the car. Looking gorgeous. Really hits different at night, to be honest. And I just did a little thing. Let me show you. Check that out. And for all of you wondering, oh, there it goes. Put that bad boy in here for safekeeping. Check it out, guys. Let's go. What's good, fam? Welcome back to Unlockable Character. We have a late night POV drive for you. I am going to be putting everything into sport mode. We have it in rear wheel drive. Let's get it going, guys. Valves are open. I'm going to put the suspension and the steering into comfort. And let's have a good time. Burbles are on, as you can hear. Sounding good. Some of you have been asking, you know, when do you shift? Like, when do you know when you need to shift? Well, when you're coming to a stop and you're in higher gear, you can downshift even lower in the RPMs. That'll help the car brake. That's called engine braking. I don't like shifting down into first from second. That's a very harsh shift. But, you know, coming down from fifth to fourth to third to then second, and then slowly braking and coasting into the stop is normally what I do. And then when you're accelerating, you know, if you want to get maximum performance out of the car, you're going to try and shift at redline, which is 7,200 RPM. But when you're just driving around normally, you can short shift the car, so you can shift it at a lower RPM. I find that between gears 1 through 3, the sweet spot to short shift the car is 4,000 RPM. Do not want to shift gears in the middle of a turn. So while you're turning, you know, like accelerating through a sharp turn like this, you don't want to downshift. That will actually upset the car. You can, if you want to try to accelerate through a turn, you can shift up, which is going to lower your rate of acceleration as you go through the turn. So you can always shift up before a turn. And And then of course, when you're racing, you want to exit a turn as fast as possible. So I have coded active sound design off. I think it sounds best with active sound design off, to be honest. I went back and forth, I put active sound design back on, but then I just realized there was so much digital noise. Almost like a digital humming vibrational noise. And although the shifts sounded really cool with active sound design and the LCI, it's kind of like a clamping, like boom, a digital clamp. I think still just sounds better without it on. Oh, this car sounds so good. What a car, guys. What a car. Let's hear it. Unbelievable. What a car. Turn down the brightness in here a little bit. My goodness, guys, what a freaking car. eyes are actually super dry, so I'm gonna turn this off for a second and put some eye drops in, and then I'll turn it back on, guys. All right, let's go. All right, guys, we took a quick break so I can get some eye drops in my eyes. They're pretty dry. Now we're back at it. I did see an officer get on the road this way, so I'm gonna be a little bit more cautious when we get on the highway back again on 400 North. And then we can rip it once we get a little bit further down. Sounds incredible. Just bonkers, guys. Just pull after pull after pull. It's just so bonkers. We're gonna take it easy up ahead because we do have some road pirates. I do run Waze every time I drive. I do need to get the radar and the laser jammers, you know what I mean? Soon to come, guys. And after racing that Hellcat yesterday, I know I need to get a tune on the car, because if I had a tune, that Hellcat would have been toast. Oh, ho, ho, ho. God, that sounds so good. Looks like we got some more road pirates up ahead, guys. Let's see. I love when you guys are, you know, finding things in the video that I don't normally see. It's just really good attention to detail, you know what I mean? Like you pick out people's reactions in their cars in 360 videos that I don't see, or you see awesome cars on the road that I don't see, or even if you see like a road pirate hiding that I don't see. I think that's pretty cool. Rear wheel drive mode definitely gives you so much more playfulness in the car. You can feel the tires and a little bit of squirming, you know what I mean? Like it will break traction and you feel all of that. So it's immense. Alright guys, we're gonna head to the car wash. Once we get there, I'll turn this back on and then we should have a nice rip back to Atlanta. Alright, let's go. Alright fam, what's good? We are back. Welcome back to Unlockable Character. We are at Auto Craze in Cumming, the touchless car wash where I have a monthly membership. Literally the best touchless car wash within 50 miles of Atlanta in any direction. I've had a few people be like, oh my god, you bring your car to the automatic car wash? Guys, there's no brushes in this car wash. The car is not gonna get any micro scratches. It's completely touchless. And then we hand wash the car once like a month to keep it pristine. Remember, the car also has full satin PPF over the frozen black paint, and then there's a ceramic coating on top of the PPF. So the car is pristine, all right? What's super cool is I actually figured out the guy who bought my 2024 Isle of Man Green M4 Competition Xdrive. He bought it in Georgia and then drove it all the way back up to New Jersey. I think it's called S58 Hulk, but I'll double check. He's on IG. I'll link it in the description if you want to keep up with that car. We did swap over all the mods from my previous car to this car. So let's do a rundown, guys. Engine bay intakes are Mastery of Art and Design intakes in the engine bay, so not in the front grille, but they still sound amazing. I have the Mastery Art and Design single non-resonated mid-pipe, and I have the Mastery of Art and Design Fat Boy catless downpipes. I have the SST valve controller to fully open the valves. I have that programmed to my garage door buttons on the rear view mirror here. I have the Cobra height adjustable suspension kit, and I have Bonos 20mm spacers all the way around. So the Cobra height adjustable kit retains the adaptive suspension, so you can still change the suspension from, you know, comfort to sport. When you do a coilover setup, most of the time you're going to lose the adaptive suspension in the car. So the Cobra height adjustable suspension gives you a maximum drop. It's lower than every other kit that I've seen, but it retains the adaptive suspension, so that's why I went with it. I link all the parts in the description of the video, so definitely check those out, guys. I have the SPL front bump steer adjustable outer tie rods. That helps the car remain stable over bumps, and it also helps with the suspension geometry when you lower the car so much. I also have the SPL Race rear toe arms with an eccentric lockout kit. That helps the alignment of the car stay in place after you drive it super hard, okay? Long term, I will be putting coilovers with camber plates into the car, so look out for that. I will be tuning the car on MHD, looking to run an E50 blend, like 700 wheel horsepower plus. I raced a Hellcat yesterday, and when I tune this car, this will easily walk Hellcats, so I cannot wait for that. Another thing I would say, guys, is just some financial wisdom. We are going crazy in the Discord, posting short-term option plays every day. Today was a bit of a bear market overall. Most of the stocks were down, and when stocks go down, you can place puts, which is where you make money. As the price goes down, you make money. An option long call is when the price goes up, you make money. So I am in long calls for Lunar that expire tomorrow. I'm expecting the market to go up overall because Jerome Powell, who is the head of the Federal Reserve, is speaking in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. He's speaking to central bankers from around the world, and he is going to be talking about lowering the interest rates in the United States towards the end of this year. And when interest rates get cut or lowered, it's a macroeconomic signal to the markets for positive news, because it means more people will be able to access credit at a lower interest rate across the board. Mortgage rates would go down, auto interest rates would go down. So I think that's a positive, and everything that, you know, has come out prior to tomorrow indicates that the Federal Reserve will be lowering the interest rate. So he's speaking at 10 a.m. and I'm hoping that the markets pump. Today, Peloton went up a crazy amount. That sports fitness company that has those bikes that are connected to a subscription service. And Zoom also went up a lot. And Zoom is that video call company where, you know, everyone during the pandemic was on Zooms. So you can look at earnings reports for companies. Companies have quarterly earnings reports, and when they have good news, they're generally going to be trading up that day. And so you can catch that, you can read the earnings report, you can get an analysis done, and you can trade on that news for the day, and you can trade options on that. If you want to know more, guys, definitely join the Discord. We have people of all backgrounds, beginners to experts, and it's okay to be a beginner. It's okay to ask questions. I linked the Discord below. It's $9.99 a month when you join on a PC or laptop, and you can make back that $9.99 a month the first day. Honestly, if you just follow the advice and the education that gets posted there, and really you could even mirror my trades, okay? So enough of that, guys. Let's get a little bit of a chill POV drive back now. I have the car in full comfort settings. If you can see the moon, it looks absolutely crazy right now. I've noticed that there's a lot of police out right now, so we will be chilling until we get closer back to Atlanta. But what you can enjoy is just how quiet the car is when you have the valves closed and you're in comfort settings. It really feels like the car is basically stock. And with the adaptive suspension still retained by the height adjustable kit, you can keep the comfort settings on the suspension and it doesn't feel super stiff. So right now, I'm in 4-wheel drive. Everything is in comfort. Brake, suspension, steering, the engine response, the shifting, and it feels like a stock car. That's really the beauty of the M4 Competition Xdrive. It is literally a car that does everything super well. Luxury features, technology features, and performance when you want it. So if you're taking a long trip and you want to chill, cruise, you know, maybe you have your girlfriend in the car, family and friends, put it in comfort settings, 4-wheel drive, turn the valves off, you know, turn the burble off, and literally you're just chilling. You know what I mean? Like, you can get 25 miles per gallon when you're chilling and not trying to drive it crazy, and it can be a perfect luxury grand touring car. On the flip side, when you really want to drive the car, you know, you can put it into 4-wheel drive sport or rear-wheel drive, turn everything up like to level 10, basically turn it up to 10, sport plus engine settings, you know, the stiffest suspension and steering settings, and it literally feels like a race car at that point. So that's the beauty of this car, that it can kind of do everything super well, and it can go from a luxury grand touring car to an extreme sports performance car, all at the click of a button. So a few tidbits, guys. What is my miles per gallon? What is my average miles per gallon? I average between 15 and 18 miles per gallon. The car, one of the downsides of the car is it only has a 15-gallon fuel tank. I really wish BMW would have put a bigger fuel tank in, but you know, it is what it is. Even if that was an option, you know, Porsches have an extended fuel range tank, which I think is almost 24 gallons. And that would have been sick for a car like this, especially for long road trips. But it is what it is. When you're driving it comfortably and, you know, not driving it aggressively, you can get 25 miles per gallon. The acceleration of this car is absolutely ridiculous. Even without any modifications, I'm telling you, the 0 to 60 is bang on 3 seconds, if not less than 3 seconds. And BMW says it's like 3.3, 3.4, 3.5. And it's so funny. BMW just completely underrates the car in terms of horsepower and also the performance figures in terms of acceleration. So the LCI, the 2025 BMW M4 Competition, gets 525 horsepower. That's a bump of about 20-25 horsepower from the previous year. That's really more like 520 horsepower at the wheels. And people have put the car on the dyno and they've seen that. So this is more of like a 600 horsepower at the crank car. It's kind of insane. And when you put it into perspective, like 20 years ago, this would have been a super car. You know what I mean? Like, this would have cost you like 200K plus 20 years ago. And you just got to keep that in mind, like how much car you get for the money these days. The C8 Corvette, it's another fantastic car. You know, when those came out, dealerships were trying to sell people up on those by $20,000, $30,000 above the price. but a C8 Corvette will never have as much luxury, technology, and the ability to go from comfort to extreme sports car like the M4 Xdrive. The C8 Corvette is also only rear-wheel drive, and it's a V8 naturally aspirated. This is an inline-6 twin turbo, and when you have a turbo car and you tune it, there's so much potential. You could push the horsepower figures on this, whereas on a C8 Corvette, you're pretty much, you know, already maxed out. You might get another 30, 40 horsepower if you put, you know, an exhaust system and then tune the car. On the M4, you can get another, you know, 150, 200 horsepower, which is just, it's just absurd. It's really absurd. When I think about cars in the past 10, 15 years, the last car that I think comes close to what the new M4 Competition Xdrive is doing was the Nissan GTR when it came out in 2007, 2008. I think the price of the Nissan GTR was between like $65,000 to $75,000 at the time, and it was all-wheel drive, it had a dual clutch transmission, and it was just beating supercars that were twice the price. And the M4 Competition Xdrive really does that. It's honestly incredible. So I see a cop in the other lane. They've been pulling over people all night on both sides of 400, guys. I think I just saw another cop get on the highway. There's a huge pothole in the middle of the lane here, so I'm just trying to avoid it coming over on this side. Corvettes, to me, the new C8 Corvette, it's already played out because it's almost like everyone already had one or everyone already has one. And in Atlanta, you know what? The guys who have a Hellcat, they also have C8 Corvettes, and it feels played out. It's like in all the music videos. It's kind of like a car that social media ruined, you know what I mean? And for me, the Nissan GTR and the Huracan was ruined by Instagram and social media. They were just used by clout chasers, you know what I mean? Everyone wide-bodied their GTR, they wrapped it, they made it look outrageous, you know what I mean? And then the other side of the equation is everyone tried to race their GTR in the quarter mile, and it just became like a dick measuring contest, you know what I'm saying? I think the M4, it's still not, you know, at that level where it's played out. I still think it's in the early days, and the LCI with the laser taillights, it just goes so crazy. It goes so crazy, guys. I can feel the GoPro getting hot, so let's put the AC on max AC. Open the windows just a little bit. While we're driving, let's see, guys. The interior lighting on the car, I think, is amazing. I have coded in that custom red color using Bimmer code, but I always like going through the lights at night to see what the different options are. Citron is pretty cool, but it's like a pea color, so nah. Coral looks like almost like a salmon pink. Flamingo was my favorite before. It's almost like a deep pink. You got pearl, turquoise, that looks pretty cool. Emerald, I used to run this on my old car, the Isle of Man green. I think it looked awesome. But remember, my car is frozen black on the outside and Fiona red on the inside. Rose, that's also like a salmon color. Oh, there's a nice Z4. Looks pretty sick. Azure reminds me of Greece. I like Azure a lot. But I'm gonna go back to the red, which is now replacing ivory. It's not as bright as the other colors, but I think it looks sick. So you guys, hoping tomorrow that after the Federal Reserve makes their speech, Jerome Powell, at 10 a.m., the markets respond positively and we have a little bit of a bull run. Nvidia is going to report their earnings on August 28th, and that's going to be a big day as well. They're expecting to blow out their earnings, and I think that stock price of Nvidia will keep going towards $140, $150 by the end of the year. There are some space companies like ASTS. ASTS will have a satellite launch, I believe, in September, and I think that stock price is heading towards $50. There's a few other companies I'm looking at, like Lunar and Rocket Lab, and I think space and the economy in space, like we're going to be trying to mine asteroids. We're going to be trying to deploy satellites that provide cellular service to consumers. That whole space economy is a whole new, area of growth. So you should definitely consider space, defense technology like Palantir, which I called out a few months ago and I've been holding. It's a great stock to hold. AI, of course, robotics. I think these are all really good areas to invest in. All right, guys, when we get closer to Atlanta, I'll turn this back on. Let's go. All right, fam. So many police out tonight, guys. I saw a white Camaro get pulled over by 4 officers. There was an ambulance there too, and they had his door open. I was wondering what happens to the guy. We have some more road pirates up ahead. Let me show you how easy it is to go into stealth mode. Valves on, I should say valves off. Back into 4-wheel drive comfort. Burbles off, boom. Car sounds like a stock car. Looks like there's some road work up ahead. Yeah, I'm wondering what they've been doing here. I haven't seen these lanes closed off before. But it's really as easy as that. Close the valves, put the car back into comfort mode. If you have your M1 and M2 configured, you can just press M1 or M2 again, depending on what mode you're in. Boom, you're back into comfort settings. And then when you have a valve controller, the button for the exhaust normally is now just burbles, so you just press that button to turn the burbles off and you're completely into stealth mode. It's absolutely amazing. And it is a gorgeous night. It's 73 degrees out. Really, really nice. And you know we're gonna hit those tunnels up ahead if there's no road pirates. So here we go. Valves open. Put it in M1, which is 4-wheel drive sport. Burbles are automatically turned on when I put it in M1. Downshift. That's 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd. Oh. Too good. Now we're in 5th. That's 4th. That's 3rd. Oh, that's just too much fun, guys. Here you can see I'm downshifting to actually slow the car. Oh yeah. Shifting back up. Oh, we didn't get it, but that's alright. Oh, that sounds so good. One thing you can do, guys, is you can start the car in 2nd gear. It saves you a shift. Again, I'm downshifting to engine brake. Sounds amazing. Here we go. Oh. Upshifting to balance out the car. It's just such an outrageous car, guys. I love how the car ricochets off the walls here. Oh my goodness. car. This is going to be a really sick downshift to second. Oh. Outrageous. A lot of burble when you lift off the throttle. Truly an outrageous car. Absolutely outrageous, guys. We do have space, so we can launch the car. I think we have quite a long wait at this light though. Oh, okay, maybe not. So that wasn't a launch, that was just straight up accelerating. Sounds like a Jaguar. Again, that wasn't even launch control. That was just brake boosting the car. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It's POV Night Cruise. I'll cap it there. I'll catch you later.